You thought Grandpa Pickles was wholesome until he saved lonely space vixens for his solo VHS marathon. This is Cringe Capsule, where we peel off the sticker that said "Safe for Kids" and reveal the PG-13 mischief underneath. From Ren sharpening a letter opener over Stimpy's bed to Harley inviting goons to rev up their motorcycles, these cartoons aimed 2 feet above your head and straight at your parents' sense of humor. Let's expose the naughtiest punchlines you missed. Animaniacs, 1993, Fingerprints. Picture afternoon syndication in the early 90s, Steven Spielberg's Animaniacs hijacks the Warner Brothers lot with rapid-fire songs, Hollywood in-jokes, and the hyperactive trio Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. The series was famous for stacking 2 layers of comedy, slapstick for kids, sly innuendo for any adult in earshot, but one gag still reigns as its cheekiest mic drop. In the episode Hercula Yakko, the siblings play gumshoe detectives searching for clues. Yakko turns to Dot and asks her to dust for prints. A beat later, Dot re-enters the frame hugging Prince, as in the purple paisley pop icon, rendered in tiny cartoon glory. Yakko facepalms, clarifies fingerprints, and Dot, eyes widening, looks down at the musician and coos, "I don't think so." Smash cut to the next scene before standards and practices can phone the control room, and kids just saw a pun that didn't quite land. Grown-ups instantly clocked a joke about, well, digital intimacy. According to showrunner Tom Rugger, the writers pitched it assuming the censors would strike it. Instead, the network note came back clean. Either nobody noticed, or someone in Burbank had a wicked sense of humor. Decades later, voice actress Tress MacNeille, Dot, still gets asked to recreate the line at conventions, which she does to roaring, decidedly 18-plus laughter. In a series already stuffed with sly winks, hello nurse anyone? Fingerprints is the crown jewel. A 2-second exchange that proved Saturday morning cartoons could smuggle PG-13 wordplay right under our juice box noses. Rocko's Modern Life, 1993, the phone sex gig. Nickelodeon sold Rocko's Modern Life as a slice-of-life tune about an anxious wallaby navigating suburbia. What parents didn't realize is that creator Joe Murray slipped primetime sitcom spice into every pastel frame. Case in point, Season 1's Canned, where Rocko, newly fired from Kind of a Lotto Comics, scrambles for rent money and lands a job as a specialty phone operator. The setup is pure 90s. Rocko dons a headset in his living room beside a flashing 1-900 sign, a lava lamp, and a neon poster that simply reads, "Naughty." He answers the first call and, keeping a straight marsupial face, purrs, "Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby." On the other end, neighbor Bev Bighead, bored and looking for kicks. The camera cuts to her smoky bedroom as she breathily responds, only to freeze when she recognizes the voice. "Rocko!" she gasps. Our hero shrieks, "Mrs. Bighead!" and slams down the receiver, cheeks redder than heifer's hide. 7-year-olds heard funny noises and giggled at Rocko's embarrassment. Adults spat coffee. Realizing Nickelodeon just aired a phone sex punchline at 4 p.m. Standards and practices let it through because no explicit words are spoken. Just suggestive intonation and a wink big enough for Mrs. Bighead's bouffant to fit through. The gag became legendary among 90s kids who re-watched the series in college and finally got the joke. It also cemented Rocko as Nickelodeon's stealthiest master of double entendre. Long before streaming services made adult cartoons its own shelf, a wallaby in a blue triangle shirt was already working the late shift. Tiny Toon Adventures, 1991, the Bikini Scene, switcheroo. Steven Spielberg's Tiny Toon Adventures promised wholesome Looney Tunes-light antics for the after-school crowd, yet the writers loved lobbing Hollywood in-jokes that sailed right over our juice box heads. Exhibit A, Hollywood Plucky, where fame-hungry Plucky Duck drags Babs Bunny to Tinseltown to pitch a movie about themselves. Inside a smarmy producer's office, complete with cigar smoke and velvet chaise, Plucky gushes about explosions and merchandising. The executive isn't sold until his eyes drift to Babs. He leans forward and sleazily asks if the film includes a bikini scene. Babs flashes a malicious grin and assures him it does. Cut to production day, lights, camera, anticipation, and Babs waddles on set, bundled in a full scuba bikini, mask, snorkel, flippers, head-to-toe wetsuit. She cheerfully quacks, "You didn't specify the type of bikini," before cannonballing into the pool. Kids laughed at slapstick. Adults recognized the takedown of Hollywood's leering sex sells mentality, delivered on weekday afternoons between commercials for GAC and Crossfire. The gag even doubles as a feminist flex. Babs defines the terms of her own sex appeal and leaves the creep sputtering. Broadcast standards approved it because no rule forbade lampooning producers. Cartoons roasting their own industry was still novel in '91. Today, the scene reads like a miniature Me Too parable hidden in plain sight. One minute you're learning cartoon physics. The next you're witnessing an animated bunny outwit a studio exec's thirst. Tiny Toons taught us timing, comedy, and contract loopholes. Rugrats, 1991, Grandpa's Lonely Space Vixens. Nickelodeon marketed Rugrats as toddler hijinks seen from the playpen. What parents got was a stealth sitcom that lobbed punchlines straight over their kids' heads. None more infamous than Grandpa Lou's late-night video confession in the pilot season episode, Grandpa's Date. Plot setup, Stu and Dee Dee finally score a night out. Grandpa volunteers to babysit, plops Tommy and Chucky in front of the TV, and proudly announces he's rented Reptar on Ice, Reptar Returns, and Reptar Redux. Enough scaly mayhem to knock any 6-month-old into a sugar coma. Then he checks his watch, leans toward the camera, and conspiratorially adds, "And I saved Lonely Space Vixens for after you're tucked in." Cue every adult in 1991 choking on their microwave popcorn. Nickelodeon had just dropped a soft-core gag. In prime kid time, children heard space and Vixen and thought cool aliens. Parents knew Grandpa wasn't planning a sci-fi documentary once the babies conked out. The brilliance is in the framing. Grandpa Lou never elaborates, the title never resurfaces, and the babies remain blissfully clueless. Standards and practices let it slide because no explicit content appears. Only a winking implication that seniors too have, hobbies. Result? A generational inside joke. Kids laughed because Grandpa was goofy. Adults laughed because Grandpa was a late-night horn dog. Rewatch it now and the line lands even harder. Hidden proof that Rugrats was never just kiddie babble. It was a masterclass in dual audience comedy, delivered by a grandpa with zero chill and questionable VHS choices. The Powerpuff Girls, 1998, the mayor's almost F-bomb. Cartoon Network pitched the Powerpuff Girls as sugar, spice, and preschool-friendly superheroics. What they slipped into the mix alongside Chemical X was razor-sharp, adult-aimed humor. Exhibit A, the Hotline Bling slip-up in Season 1's episode Butter Crush. Townsville is in peril, again, so the hotline on the mayor's desk erupts in its trademark bar ring. Startled awake, Hisner tumbles backward, tangles himself in phone cord, and sputters an exasperated, "Son of a Jack!" The ring cuts him off mid-syllable, but viewers with grown-up ears heard it loud and clear. The mayor was about to drop Jackass in a show airing between Pokemon reruns and homework hour. This wasn't an animation blooper, it was deliberate sound design sleight of hand. Series creator Craig McCracken has admitted the team loved skirting standards and practices by timing spicy dialogue to coincidental noises, here the hotline bell acting as a kid-safe censor beep. The network let it pass because, technically, no forbidden word made it to airtime. Kids just saw frantic slapstick. Adults caught a cartoon politician cussing like one. The gag became a cult talking point, replayed in slow-motion VHS pauses and early YouTube uploads titled Mayor Swears. It also set a precedent. The Powerpuff Girls could serve big kid comedy with the same precision they used to serve knuckle sandwiches to Mojo Jojo. Proof that even in a pastel utopia, the real power move is knowing exactly when to let the phone ring. Cow and Chicken, 1998, the band Buffalo Gals episode. Cartoon Network's Cow and Chicken was already infamous for toilet humor and devil butts, but nothing rattled parents like the Season 2 short Buffalo Gals. The plot is simple on the surface. A rambunctious motorcycle gang of denim-clad women busts through Cow and Chicken's living room wall. then spends the night chewing on carpets while blasting rock music. To a grade school viewer, it was just more cartoon chaos. To every adult in earshot, the subtext was a foghorn. The writers layered the segment with winks no network censor should have missed. The gang's name is a play on Come Out Tonight, but here it's an overt nod to lesbian stereotypes. Their leader sports a crew cut, flannel, and the suggestive moniker Torchy. When Mom asks what they do for fun, Torchy purrs, "We're carpet munchers," before the gals literally gnaw on household rugs. The innuendo is so blatant that it feels like a dare. Standards and Practices didn't catch the joke until after the episode's single US airing in August 1998. Viewer complaints poured in. Cartoon Network yanked Buffalo Gals from rotation, replacing it with a toned-down short for all future broadcasts and DVD sets. For years, the episode circulated only as fuzzy convention bootlegs and forbidden YouTube uploads titled The Cow and Chicken Cartoon CN Doesn't Want You to See. Today, it's studied as the moment 90s kid TV hit the limits of double entendre, the lesson, push too far, and even a channel built on irreverence will slam the barn door shut. Batman, the animated series, 1993, Harley's Cake Jump and Rev Up Your Harley, kids tuned to Fox Kids for Caped Crusader heroics. Writers slipped in a burlesque gag worthy of late-night cable. In the episode The Man Who Killed Batman, Gotham's mobsters throw what is basically a villain roast. Lights dim, a giant pink cake rolls in, and surprise, out pops Harley Quinn wearing nothing but red and black lingerie, frosting sprinkles, and a strategically placed Happy Birthday, Mr. J sash. She shimmies, blows a kiss, then coos to the assembled goons, "Come on, boys, who wants to rev up your Harley?" For 8-year-olds, it was Looney Tunes slapstick with clown makeup. For parents grabbing laundry, it was a burlesque number dropped into Saturday morning cartoons. The one-liner is a clear double entendre. Harley is both the bubbly henchwoman and, well, a motorcycle metaphor begging to be revved. The joke sails over kiddie heads but lands squarely with any adult who's seen a Rat Pack Vegas special. What makes the moment remarkable is context. Batman. The animated series prided itself on noir mood and smart scripts, but Fox's censors usually clipped even mild innuendo. Series writer Paul Dini later admitted in interviews he was stunned the line survived. It helped that Harley was a brand new character, still treated as zany comic relief. Standards and Practices apparently assumed revving up meant party enthusiasm. The result is a perfect stealth joke, innocuous to children, eyebrow-raising to everyone else, and now immortalized in adult humor you missed compilations, proof that even Gotham's darkest cartoon couldn't resist a little risque wink beneath the bat signal. And that's the real, folks. Proof that our wholesome 90s lineup was basically a late-night comedy set in disguise. If you spotted an Easter egg we missed, or if your VHS trauma just resurfaced, drop it in the comments. Smash that subscribe button for more nostalgia with a side of side-eye, and we'll keep digging up the jokes your childhood totally glossed over. Until next time, this is Cringe Capsule. Rewind responsibly.